The silence begins. It starts quietly, not with shouting or closure, but with emptiness. Two souls, both carrying old wounds, finally stop reaching out. The calls fade, the messages stop, and the constant cycle of connection and retreat dissolves into stillness. At first, that silence feels like death, like the end of something fragile, but it's not an ending. It's the beginning of something deeper, rawer, and more revealing. Because when two people stop chasing each other, what remains isn't peace, it's truth. For the dismissive avoidant, silence isn't born from hatred, it's born from control. Distance becomes their shield, a way to avoid vulnerability, rejection, and the buried emotions they've never faced. They withdraw because closeness feels unsafe. But when you stop reaching out too, something shifts. Their sense of control begins to fracture. At first, they feel relieved. Finally, no more pressure. But relief quickly turns into discomfort. The silence they once used as armor starts echoing back at them. They wonder, why aren't you chasing me anymore? For them, connection has always been confusing, a battlefield between desire and fear. They want love, but associate it with control, loss, or pain. So when you used to call, text, or check in, it fed their hidden sense of power. You were predictable, safe. But when you fall silent, the balance changes. They're no longer being chased, they're being forgotten. And that's when the real tension begins, not between you and them, but within themselves. Meanwhile, you face your own storm. The urge to reach out burns in your chest. You check your phone, your mind replaying what-ifs. But as days pass, the ache softens. A strange calm arrives. You start to see how much energy you poured into holding together something that was never mutual. The silence that once felt like punishment now feels like protection. Slowly, you begin returning to yourself, piece by piece, heartbeat by heartbeat. And though no words are exchanged, the avoidant feels it. They sense your detachment, not logically, but energetically. The emotional cord they once tugged for reassurance starts to fade. And what rises in them isn't anger, it's fear. The same fear they've been running from all along, the fear of being forgotten. The emotional mirror. Avoidants convince themselves they don't need anyone. They build walls so high they mistake isolation for strength. But when your silence becomes real, it unsettles their illusion. They start to feel the weight of the emptiness they created. They won't admit it. Instead, they linger on your digital edges, watching your stories, liking an old post, or sending something meaningless like a meme. But beneath those gestures lies a quiet question. Are you still there? Here's the paradox. If you respond too quickly, they retreat again. If you stay distant, they spiral into confusion. It's the same emotional dance, except now, you've stopped playing the music. Then time steps in. Weeks turn into months, and both of you begin to see more clearly. You start to realize that what you were trying to fix wasn't love. It was a wound, a longing to prove your worth to someone who could never fully receive it. And the avoidant, in their quiet moments, begins to feel the cracks in their armor. Regret, loneliness, and the faint awareness that love requires vulnerability, something they've avoided their whole life. Some avoidants crumble under the silence. They start remembering the warmth you gave, the safety, the patience, the acceptance. But pride keeps them frozen. They'll tell themselves they've moved on, even as their thoughts return to you in the stillness of the night. They replay your laugh, your kindness, your calm presence, not because they miss control, but because they miss connection. And for the first time, They realize what they lost wasn't attention, it was emotional safety. You, on the other hand, begin to rise. You stop waiting. You stop hoping for their message to fix what broke. You begin focusing on yourself, on healing, growth, and peace. You discover that silence doesn't always mean absence. Sometimes it means freedom. You realize that you don't need closure from them because silence is closure. It shows you everything they can and cannot give. And from that realization, something powerful blooms. You stop craving their validation and start honoring your own energy. Fairness is a weak illusion. Believing in fairness feels good. It gives comfort. It makes you think that your hard work will always pay off, that loyalty will always be rewarded, and that justice will always protect you. But in reality, this belief is nothing more than a weak illusion. When you depend on fairness, you hand control of your future to other people. You stop being the master of your life and start living like a servant of circumstances. You expect others to see your value. You expect systems to protect you. And you expect loyalty in return for your kindness. But when these expectations collapse, you feel betrayed, angry, and broken. This is exactly why most people remain powerless. Their emotions are tied to fairness. When life is unfair, they fall apart. When people betray them, they lose control. When rewards don't come, they stop moving forward. They fail because they live in a dream, not in reality. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. He said that people are often deceived because they want to be deceived. They want to believe in justice, honesty, and fairness, even when reality proves otherwise. That desire blinds them, and in their blindness, they become victims of those who see clearly. Ask yourself, how many times did you do the right thing but got nothing in return? How many times did someone less deserving take the reward you worked for? How many times did loyalty, honesty, or kindness fail to protect you? These moments hurt, but they also reveal the truth. Fairness is not the law of life. Capability and strategy are. So what's the solution? Stop expecting fairness and start depending on yourself. Build competence so strong that no one can deny your value. Train your mind to be resilient when life disappoints you. Instead of waiting for justice, create your own advantage. Instead of hoping for loyalty, prepare for betrayal. Instead of complaining, adapt and respond with strength. Fairness keeps people soft. Reality makes people strong. And those who grow strong by accepting reality are the ones who rise, while others keep waiting for justice that never comes. In the next part, we'll uncover the truth about human nature, why people are not as loyal, honest, or rational as you think, and how understanding this gives you a powerful edge.